Welcome to English Story Hub. Learn English through fun stories. Improve vocabulary, listening, and speaking skills. Like, subscribe, and keep learning with us.
Reluctant Savior.
In the shadowed gutters of Merrowwind, the thief known as Kale never dreamed of saving a kingdom. He only wanted to disappear into the crowd, his fingers nimble, his conscience dulled by years of surviving among cutthroats and beggars. The city was cruel, its alleys soaked in rain and secrets, and Kale had learned early on that trust was a luxury he couldn't afford. He had no name before Kale. An orphan from the Outer Isles, he was sold, stolen, and smuggled until he found his way to the back streets of Merrowwind. There, he honed his craft, lifting purses, climbing spires, and vanishing into fog. But Merrowwind was not what it seemed. Beneath its cobblestone charm lay a kingdom cursed. Centuries ago, the royal bloodline of Eldros had bound itself to the Vale, a realm of spirits and shadow. In exchange for protection from endless war, they promised their heirs would serve as wardens of the boundary between worlds. But something had gone wrong. The pact soured. Shadows grew bold. The Vale bled into the waking world. Now, darkness seeps through the cracks of Merrowwind. People vanish in their sleep. Whispers echo from mirrors. The royal family, long in hiding, is fragmented and hunted. Kale's journey begins when he steals a pendant from a nobleman's manor, a gleaming opal that sings to him in the night. It draws dreams of fire and forgotten names, of a tower in the center of a rotting forest, and a woman bound in chains of light. The pendant is no trinket. It is the tear of Eldros, a relic of royal blood, and by taking it, Kale has bound himself to the curse. He tries to sell it. No one will touch it. He throws it in the river. It returns. It burns his chest with visions. It calls him Warden. In desperation, Kale seeks out the Oracle of Thorns, a blind seer exiled in the ruins of Cindergate. Amid collapsing stone and overgrown temples, Kale finds her in a circle of roots. She speaks his birth name, one he had never told anyone. She tells him, "You were chosen, not by fate, but by the tear." The kingdom sleeps in shadow. Only one beyond blood, unwilling and unbound, may shatter the curse. You must walk the old path. Kale curses her. He flees. But the city tightens around him. The shadows begin to hunt him. As he tries to escape Merrowwind, he is cornered by hollowed, twisted things of flesh and echo. He is saved by a sword maiden named Talia, once sworn to the crown, now a fugitive. She wears armor patched with memory and eyes that have seen too much. She knows the old tales. She saw her queen consumed by the Vale. She believes Kale is the last hope. Talia leads him beyond the city walls, and though Kale resists, he has no choice but to follow. Along their path, others join. First is Bren the Broken, a former knight who once protected the royal heir. Haunted by ghosts only he can see, Bren speaks to things that are not there and carries a sword rusted by grief. When they pass through the echo crypts, where the dead remember the living, Bren walks unscathed. "They remember me," he says. "I remember them." Then comes Sarah, a Maya witch cursed to speak only truth. Her magic is old, like the bogs she emerged from, and she knows the rites that bind shadow to bone. Sarah's curse came when she betrayed her sister to save herself. Since then, she cannot lie, even to ease another's pain. She sees through Kale like glass, calling out his guilt, his shame, his potential. Finally, Ashwin, a scholar turned outlaw, joins them. Keeper of forbidden law, Ashwin bears inked runes on his hands that burn when lies are spoken. He uncovers an ancient chronicle in the lost library of Windmere that reveals the corruption of the Vale began within the royal family itself. Ambition, not accident, poisoned the pact. As the group journeys deeper into the ruined kingdom, they cross a series of trials. In the Hall of Shards, they each confront twisted versions of themselves. Kale's doppelganger nearly kills him, whispering all the things he never admits. That he's afraid, that he never wanted to be anything but invisible. In the bridges of memory, they must walk across illusions from their past. Kale sees a younger version of himself starving in an alley, choosing theft over death. He tries to reach the boy, but the vision crumbles. In the vaults of mourning, time fractures. Talia relives the death of her queen. Bren is forced to speak to the ghosts who blame him. Sarah sees her sister again, asking why she let her die. All the while, Kale and the tear grow more connected. It begins to speak to him, not in words, but in feeling. He senses old truths buried beneath stone. He wakes from dreams with names on his tongue he doesn't remember learning. Eventually, the group reaches Aurelian, the forgotten capital, now a ruin entombed in vines and ash. There, beneath the throne of thorns, the last gateway to the Vale still flickers. They are ambushed. Shadowborn soldiers, guided by a dark being known only as the Hollow Prince, descend upon them. Talia is struck down defending Kale. Sarah is wounded. Bren is dragged into the fog. Kale is captured. He wakes in the throne room, face to face with the Veiled Queen, once Elira, last heir of Eldros, now consumed by the Veil. She weeps silver tears. She begs Kale to end it all. To break the curse, Kale must walk into the Veil, bind his soul to it, and shut the gate from within. There is no promise of return. No glory. Only sacrifice. Kale says nothing. But his eyes burn with choice. He walks into the Veil. It is not a place. It is a memory, a wound, a mirror. Inside, Kale walks through himself. He sees his parents, whom he never knew. The man who sold him, the boy he once was, stealing bread with shaking hands. A version of himself who never stole, living quietly, poor but honest, never touched by fate. In the deepest chamber, Kale finds the Hollow Prince, formed from royal ambition and broken pacts, twisted by centuries of regret. The prince speaks with Kale's voice. They duel, not with steel, but with wit, with memory, with truth. The prince tries to unmake Kale, to tempt him with power, to drown him in shame. Kale answers with forgiveness. He forgives his past, his weakness, his fear, his mistakes. He speaks his true name, one forgotten even to him. The veil cracks. A light, raw and pure, surges through the wound. The tear bursts in golden flame. The Hollow Prince howls and vanishes. Outside, the gate closes. The veil retreats. The kingdom breathes again. Talia wakes in Aurelian. Sarah's wounds are gone. Bren emerges from the fog, whole. Ashwin stands atop a tower, chronicling the moment in trembling script. Kale is gone, but legends whisper of a man who walks between worlds, guardian of light and shadow, neither hero nor thief, only a reluctant savior. In the epilogue, the world begins to rebuild. Talia becomes commander of the new Queen's Guard. Sarah returns to the mire and becomes the next oracle. Ashwin writes the chronicles of the Veil, recording everything, and deep beneath the earth, a girl in rags finds a glowing tear in a hidden cave.